Are non-Muslims going to heaven? Many Muslims and non-Muslims ask, will non-Muslims, according to Islam, whether they be Christian or Jewish or otherwise, who do good deeds, go to heaven? Let's try and tackle this topic as simply as possible. In Islam, he who does not believe in all of God's prophets and messengers is deemed to be a disbeliever. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that those who disbelieve will be punished in the hereafter. Indeed, those who disbelieve in Allah and His messengers and wish to discriminate between Allah and His messengers and say, we believe in some and disbelieve in others, and wish to adopt a way in between, those are the disbelievers truly. And we have prepared for the disbelievers a humiliating punishment. This verse is referring to those who disbelieve either by not recognizing God, or by not recognizing Him as He should be, or by denying messengership altogether, or denying some messengers. The punishment is set out as these disbelievers have willfully denied the truth delivered to them in this world. So, does this mean that all non-Muslims will go to hell? Well, not so fast. To answer this question, we must first understand three facts. Firstly, there are two types of disbelief. One is disbelief out of defiance and stubbornness. Such a disbeliever deserves punishment, as the verse indicates. The second type is disbelief due to ignorance or being unaware of the truth, or incapacity. Here, the scholars of Islam refer to two groups of people which fall into the second type of disbelief due to unawareness. The first group is people who are powerless, incapable, known as mustada'afun, either because of their inability to change the environment or because their mind was not aware of the truth. In Surah An-Nisa, verses 97 to 99, Allah refers to the people who die whilst being aids to oppressors, claiming that they were only helping them because the oppressors had weakened and forced them to do so. We read, so the abode of those people is hell, and miserable an abode it is, except the powerless among the men, women, and children, who neither have access to any means nor are guided to any way. So perhaps God may pardon them, and God is ever forgiving, ever pardoning. This verse damns those who willfully decided to obey evil, but excuses those who wanted to practice the truth but couldn't due to being vulnerable, such as those who are old, weak, or sick, or those who may not have been explained the truth. And the second group of people that fall into disbelief due to unawareness is those awaiting the command of Allah, murjawna li amrillah. This term denotes people whose fate is regarded as being in the hands of Allah. Allah Himself shall deal with them as His wisdom and mercy dictate. When talking about some of the groups of people who will be redeemed, Allah then refers to those who disbelieve due to unawareness. And in the verse 106 of Surah At-Tawbah, Allah says, and others are awaiting the command of Allah. He will either punish them or He will forgive them. And God is all-knowing, all-wise. Examples of these two groups include people such as those who have not heard about Islam, the final message of Allah, or someone who lives in such a toxic Islamophobic atmosphere that their view regarding Islam is totally distorted by the media. And as a result, they do not understand the obligation of researching into Islam. Or they may research, but unfortunately, they may only discover the extremist, untrue understanding of Islam. Or those who live in lands which persecute Muslims and Islam. Secondly, we must realize that salvation and damnation have various degrees and levels. Thirdly, each person will be judged by Allah according to what they knew of His teachings and what access they had to them. Now, going back to our question, what about non-Muslims who do good deeds? Will they go to heaven or not? Non-Muslims who knew about Allah, the Prophet, and Islam and chose not to believe out of defiance and stubbornness, Allah says they deserve to enter hell. On the other hand, non-Muslims who did not research or believe in Islam due to incapacity, unawareness, or another such excused reason, but they do good deeds based on the teachings of their faith with sincerity, they will find that those deeds that they do, which are in accordance with Allah's laws, in reality, these deeds will be accepted and they will be rewarded. However, it is imperative to emphasize that what we are talking about here is the fate and salvation of non-Muslims in the hereafter out of God's mercy, and not the validity of their religion in this world, because Islam abrogated all other religions. In the end, we must remember that nobody can play God, and wherever human beings end up is up to God. God alone can judge and decree based on His unlimited knowledge of the degree of every individual's search for the truth, and their success in discovering it or not, and their sincerity to accept it and act upon it. If you enjoyed this video and found it to be beneficial, be sure to subscribe to the World Federation YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.